What's going on, guys? We are back with part 2 of this week's recent pickups from the Taking High Ground Discord. Now, if you saw it yesterday, around like 10 o'clock last night, I posted part 1 to this, and I thought it was funny. I used a Jammy Toaster's Cuddle Team Leader in the thumbnail, and I didn't talk about it because it was like in the second half of the pickups, and he was like, made the thumbnail but not the video. So Jammy Toaster, later this video, I will be talking about how great your pickup was this week. But first, we're starting with Peru Man, who picked up a Dominator Holofoil PSA 10. Now, Dominator is cool. She's a very simple skin. One of those, like, they call them, like, super, like, the souped-up defaults, basically. Just default with a little extra, like, flair to it, a little extra accents, a little extra design to it. And I actually like those, because there's no cards of the OG defaults. And, a lot of people didn't buy skins right out of the gate. And, that's pretty cool. Like, that you could have technically a default skin. I mean, it's kind of not, but, like, it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Epic brought back the default skins from Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 Season 4 to be purchased, like, to be purchasable, so many people were rocking those and buying those at the time, and still to this day, people wear those and rock those all the time. So, Dominator just kind of represents that because there's only one true default skin card, is up to my knowledge, and that is Recruit Jonesy, and that is a Chapter 2 default, not a Chapter 1 default. So there's no way to actually truly collect a Chapter 1 default skin, but there are some, things that are close to it, like skins like Dominator. That's something that I don't feel like a lot of people think about with, certain cards to potentially invest in, not investment advice, is cards that represent the defaults closely, that are similar to the defaults from Chapter 1, because a lot of people didn't buy a lot of skins early in Chapter 1, and a lot of their best OG memories of Fortnite are default skins. So that's why I think a card like Dominator is slept on and super underrated. And plus, all holos in PSA 10. Holos are rare. They are rare. I mean, what are you getting, 1 or 2 per fat pack box? Every other mega you're getting 1. You're getting 3 or 4 per grab feed. Like, those things are not common, and especially in PSA 10s. That is a beautiful card right there, Peru Man. One that we should all be appreciating. Now, next up, we have my man Kari with some amazing, and I say amazing, I mean amazing, Omega Crystal Shard PSA 7, Drum Gun Crystal Shard PSA 9, Ragnarok Crystal Shard PSA 7, and a Glow Optichrome PSA 10 to end off his PSA submission. He did say he subbed it through GameStop, which I thought was interesting. I know they're doing that. It's an interesting concept. I don't know if I would ever personally do that. But I feel like it is a nice convenience for a lot of people. So, like, I think it's a good thing. I think submitting cards through GameStop is definitely convenient and a good thing. So, yeah, I think that's cool that he got the submission, got it back, and it went smoothly for him. Good to see that there's an easier way for, the average collector to submit cards. I think that's cool. But onto the cards he actually submitted. Omega Crystal Shard is a beautiful card. We know Rob was so generous and gracious to send one my way for free. Top 2 Fortnite card in my collection. We know nothing can beat out Moisty, but second best Fortnite card in my collection. Well, it's definitely the best. Second favorite. Omega, Chapter 1, Season 4 Battle Pass. There's really not much I need to say. Tier 100, the first truly customizable skin like he was. The first of his time. He really paved the way for so many skins in Fortnite. And he's just so iconic, so loved. Chapter 1, Season 4 is one of the most fondly looked upon seasons of all time. And yeah, it's just an awesome card. One that I personally feel is top 5. He was definitely top 10 in the community, top 25. I believe he was 8. I want to say he was 8. But Omega, great, fantastic card right there, Kari. That's a big card right there. Then he's got the Drum Gun. Now, did I upload the video? There was a point in time where I made a video talking about why I think the Drum Gun is an underrated card. I don't even think I ever actually uploaded it or posted it. I think I started editing it and it just didn't go well. I think I tried to do a voiceover video. I don't know if you guys remember the video. It was, "Is Fortnite the future of trading cards?" And it was a voiceover video. That one actually did pretty well, but I tried to do another one about why the Drum Gun is overrated. It didn't take. I don't know. But you're going to get that information now. Drum Gun is underrated. So, the unvaulting event at the end of Chapter 1, Season 8, 7, 8. At 8, Season 8, I'm washed. I'm not in the Fortnite space currently, so I'm not tuned in. I'm not sharp as a tack like I used to be with Fortnite knowledge. But the drum gun was the weapon that was unvaulted in the unvaulting event. So in that event, we went into that vault that was underground, and there was like all the options. There was the drum gun. There was this. I want to say there was the bounce pads, the infinity blade, the planes. Impulses were definitely there, but a whole bunch of different options. I believe there's 8 options, and the community chose to unvault the drum gun. So I think that, the community likes the drum gun, and also that card represents the main focus of that event, unvaulting a weapon, the weapon that was unvaulted. So not only does the drum gun clearly have deep ties to the community because they chose to unvault it, it also, represents that event really good. So anyone who really enjoyed that event would want that card, not investment advice. And, all those people that voted for the drum gun definitely have a fondness for the drum gun, so maybe they might want the card in the future, not investment advice. Now next with Ragnarok, Ragnarok is like the second Omega almost, kind of like they're not similar skins, but they are similar because they were the amount of edit styles they had in the season after each other. So Omega was season 4, Ragnarok was season 5, and Ragnarok was like the Omega of the Chapter 1 Season 5 Battle Pass, if you get what I'm saying. But Ragnarok, that Viking theme, and they also combined Omega and Ragnarok in the OG season, which was awesome. But Ragnarok is a gorgeous card, one that I do personally own. Kari's is a PSA 7, mine's a PSA 5, I think. But either way, Ragnarok, first of all, his blue, you get that card in hand, it's different. You see that card, you see it, okay, you respect it, you see it, that thing's nice. You get that thing in hand, it's like, whoa. That's, that one was shocking when I got it in hand, how beautiful it was. And then, Ragnarok is super iconic because people love him. Chapter 1 Season 5 is one of the most fondly looked upon seasons of all time. That stretch in Chapter 1, I don't think you can personally go wrong with any of the skins from any of the battle passes from that stretch of Fortnite, just because of how great Fortnite was at that time and how, the quality of the skins, how great they were, and how everybody loved them. So Ragnarok PSA 7 Crystal Shroud is a fantastic card. And then a Glow Opti PSA 10, if I'm not mistaken, is Glow an exclusive skin? Or is there's like a similar one that's exclusive? But either way, I know there's Fate and there's Glow. I know Fate's item shop. Maybe Glow. I feel like Glow may be an exclusive skin. If she is, I think all the exclusive skin cards are really cool, really unique. Definitely a potential play there because they're exclusive, so you can't get them in-game. So where do you got to turn? To the card. But yeah, and Glow just looks cool. The blue with, like, the way she looks. It's just a really awesome looking card with great artwork. So Glow Opti PSA 10, awesome card. Awesome pickups card. Congratulations on all of those. All right, next up we have this one is interesting. So Bobby BCC, Italy prototype pack, right? PSA 10 condition Italy prototype pack. I saw that and I was like, is this real? I honestly didn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, am I looking at this? And I'm looking out on my phone, like, looking up, what am I looking at? Is this real? Italy prototype pack PSA 10. So let's think about this. We know how hard the prototypes themselves are to grade, right? First of all, we know how rare prototypes are, how rare a pack is, how few of those there are, and then how bad a condition the Italy prototypes are typically in. And then to get a pack graded by PSA when they don't currently actually grade the prototypes. So if you look at the label, it is not labeled as a prototype pack. It's just labeled as an Italy 6 card pack. But a true collector knows this is a Italy pack. Italy prototype pack. They're all, should all be in at least PSA 9 condition if PSA is given the pack grade of 10. So like that is a massive thing right there. Who knows, there could be a Renegade Proto 10 in there. Like that is insane. That is absurd. That's like an unfathomable pickup, an unfathomable thing. Like this is like above, like that's like here, we got like, the really high end stuff we just saw with Kari. Then that's like up there. Like that's absurd how rare and cool and probably valuable that is. I wonder what the potential value would be on that. I'm thinking, whoa. I'm thinking that's at least high four figures. It's gotta be most definitely high four figures. That's just a crazy, crazy thing. So Bobby BCC, obviously, congratulations on that. Yeah, that's just insane. Then we got Jesper with the Focus Laser 9, and it is slightly off centered. That's why I got the PSA 9, but it's still sharp, still not as egregiously off centered as we see some of these other ones. So it's definitely a really, really awesome and gorgeous card. And Focus is pretty good. Focus is a pretty underrated card. You know, I feel her cards don't pop up. Those Series 3 cards are starting to become pretty scarce because, like, collectors, they kept having opportunities to scoop them up and scoop them up and scoop them up, and then they just lock them in their collections. Like, they keep them. They're like, all right, I mean, I got it for so cheap, there's no point in selling it. I believe in this long term, so there's no point in selling it, so I'm just going to hold this and let it increase in value, not investment advice. So, like, Series 3 cards are starting to become pretty scarce, and with the amount of Fortnite players there are, it definitely will be very scarce. So, like, this card, I mean, obviously, Series 3 base cards are always going to be pretty readily available, but I feel like we see a time where Series 3 hollows are kind of scarce, and then there'll be a point in time where lasers are extremely scarce, and lasers in PSA 9 condition are even more scarce, because there's even more lasers with worse centering than this one. Like, this laser has bad centering, but a lot of them have way worse centering. And Focus, we all know, is one of the sweatiest, most used skins of the past, couple years. So just a fantastic pickup there, Jesper. Love to see something like that. Then we got my boy Dutch Ghoul picking up a card that fits right at home in his PC for Lax Fit Jonesy, Italy Cracked Ice, PSA 10. I know Dutch Ghoul is a big international collector. His favorite card, I believe, is Relax Fit Jonesy, just based off what I see him pick up, what I see him talk about. And have a perfect PSA 10 one. That's awesome, bro. I know Series 3 Italy is not the easiest to grade. I know it's pretty difficult, actually. And Series 3 as a whole is actually quite difficult to grade, on average. It's not the easiest to grade. But Dutch Ghoul, I feel like this card is like one that you really, really was like you were chasing, and one you're really happy to finally like have and track down. Like, that was like a really like big goal card for you, I feel like. And it really is, because like I know you really love Relax Fit Jonesy, and you like the international cards, and who doesn't love a good PSA 10? So like, this is a beautiful card for you. I know this is fitting perfectly in your collection, so I'm really happy to see you get a card like that, my man. And next up, we have Jammy Toaster with the Color Team Leader Crystal Shard, PSA 9. I used this card in the thumbnail for last video and this one. Didn't talk about it last video. Like I said, he commented. He was like, come on, bro, what are we doing? But Jammy Toaster, what a pickup. You can never go wrong with Color Team Leader Crystal Shard. Now, it's like, I believe this is like the second or third time I've used Color Team Leader in the thumbnail for one of these videos whenever there's one in the pickups. And the cards I put in the thumbnails, I typically do for a reason, because they're iconic skins, like Omega, Cuddle Team Leader, Black Knight, Skull Trooper, Peely. When I can put cards like that in the thumbnails, I like to, because it draws more eyes. People are like, that's Black Knight. I know that's Fortnite. That's Skull Trooper. That's Peely. That's Cuddle Team Leader. I recognize these faces. So, that's why he's in the thumbnail. That's why she's in the thumbnail. And we know Cuddle Team Leader, definitely big storyline ties. We know that. There's 4 variants of her in Series 1. That's super unique. There's more variants in Series 3. Then more in Series 2. Yeah, there's Ragsy in Series 2. There's Clover Team Leader in Series 3. I feel like I'm missing a few, but I don't know. I stopped for a second because I was just like racking my brain for some more. But yeah, Jammy Toaster, you can never go wrong with the Cuddle Team Leader. PSA 9, it's not a perfect 10, but USA shards, they're not easy to get. They're not easy to get in good condition. So to get one like this in PSA 9 condition, that's awesome, bro. Congratulations. Then next up, we have my man Alpha Pitbull with a bunch of nice PSA graded cards. So he has 2, not 1, but 2 Black Knight Italy Hollow foils, one in PSA 9 condition, one in PSA 5 condition. I love to see some low grade representation. You guys know I have big name shards and low grades. That's how I've built what I have, and I love to see the low grade representation. And also, a PSA 9 Black Knight is a banger. That's a big card. I mean, I know it's Italy, but Italy's not easy to grade, and anything Black Knight Hollow foil is not easy to come by. Anything Black Knight at all isn't easy to come by. So, Alpha Pitbull, those are 2 awesome cards. Then he's showing some Drift love. He's got a Drift Hollow Brazil PSA 8 and a Drift Crystal Shard Brazil PSA 8. Brazil cards aren't easy to grade either. They're not easy to come by, crystal shards no matter what. Eventually there's going to be a point in time, like I said, where I feel there's going to be a point in time where base cards are impossible to find for these cards from Series 1, not investment advice. So, Brazil shards are going to be an anomaly as well. Brazil hollows are going to be a ghost as well. It's like, these are great, fantastic cards for long-term holds. They're great cards now, but the point I was getting to, but in 10 years, Brazil cards are going to be, like, super rare as well. Brazil shards are not going to, they're going to be super rare as well. Like I said, they're good cards now, but in 10 years, they're going to be even greater. And then he also ended up with a Red Knight Hollow PSA 8 Brazil, which is high condition for, any Brazil card. Red Knight, female Black Knight, we know she was hot. She was definitely included in the top 25 community list. She made it. I forgot what place she was in exactly, but she definitely made it. And just overall a great card. Red Knight, you can't go wrong. So Alpha Pitbull, those are some great, fantastic pickups. Then lastly, we ended off with Billy with a Midas Cracked Ice PSA 9. And if you want to talk about a safe card that you can never go wrong with picking up, not investment advice, is Midas. Midas Cracked Ice, they're so undervalued right now. I feel that's my personal opinion. They are so undervalued right now, so underappreciated in this market. Because what's a more popular skin than Midas? What's a more iconic skin than Midas? Sure, there's Black Knight, there's Renegade Raider, there's Jonesy, but, like, he's up there. He's right up there. Chapter 2, Season 2 is one of the most iconic Fortnite seasons of all time. That was the COVID season. Everybody was at home just playing it. And plus, the season was great as it was. Like, even if, like, people just weren't forced to be at home and just, had nothing to do but play Fortnite, that season would have still gone down as one of the greatest of all time, because it is one of the greatest seasons of all time, no matter the outside circumstances. That was a fantastic, fantastic season. The Battle Pass was great. The themes, the weapons, the updates. It was the LTMs. That was a season, and Midas represents that great and fantastic season. So Midas is a beautiful, beautiful card that I see no flaws in picking up his cards, no matter what the price is, really. I personally feel he's a top 10 card, most definitely. Maybe even top 5. Just him being in Series 3 drags him down. If he was in Series 2, he'd be number 1 of all time, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I said if Midas was in Series 2 and everything else was the same, like we don't throw Renegade Raider in some, in Series 1 or something. If the only change in the sets was Midas was in Series 2, I'd say he'd be the best card probably. Or at least he'd be giving Black Knight a run for his money. He'd be 2 for sure. I personally feel that would be a better card than Peely. That's personal thoughts on there. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me know down in the comments. Would you rather have a hypothetical Series 2 Midas Cracked Ice PSA 10 or a Series 1 Peely USA Print Crystal Shard PSA 10? Let me know that down in the comments, and we'll end the video on that. Billy, fantastic pickup. I love Midas. I love that card. And I loved all the pickups from today. These were great, fantastic pickups. I went for like almost 20 minutes talking about these because they were so great and were good cards to talk about. So thank you all for sending in pickups. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.